What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another rogue deck video, and this one was inspired by Iron Thorns Dragapult. I switched up the dragon and I'm rocking Iron Thorns with Goodra VSTAR. So I haven't showcased Goodra VSTAR in a bit, but it is one of my favorite VSTARs to ever come out. With the rolling iron attack, you do 200 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks, which is insane when you're up against decks like Miraidon, Lost Box, stuff like that with more finite like damage. You know, it's not like Reaching Bolt where they could just hit for an infinite number. Even Charizard, you know, if they got a difficult time, excuse me, getting out like, you know, Dusknoirs and stuff like that, you could actually go to work with Goodra against Charizard. Gardevoir, same kind of concept. They kind of cap out at a certain amount of damage. So Goodra VSTAR does well into a lot of decks like that. Paired with the Moisture Star VSTAR ability, you can heal all the damage from this Pokemon once during the game. So you essentially, especially when you pair this with Cape and you beef up the guy to 370 HP, you could just full heal it and tell your opponent to do it again, which is one of my favorite things to do. Comboed with Iron Thorns with the initialization ability, you shut down all rule box abilities in play. So Lugia VSTAR, Charizard EX, Pidgeot, Regidrago VSTAR, Tealmask Ogerpon, all those cards, Radiance, none of them are going to work as long as Iron Thorns is in the active spot. So Iron Thorns pairs well against a lot of decks right now that are heavily dependent on only rule box abilities, such as Charizard, Regidrago, and Goldengo. And Iron Thorns will be the primary attacker in those matchups, whereas decks like Gardevoir, Lost Box, Cloth, and Miraidon, you could swing with Goodra VSTAR and use Rolling Iron to kind of tank hits, full heal, and then take KOs that way. So that's going to be the combo with the deck. And now I know you're probably thinking like, all right, how are we going to make this function? So this is where things get a little complicated. I was kind of inspired by my Okie Dokie video. I was kind of in love with Crispin, so I was looking at what other things I could combo Crispin with, where you could search your deck for up to 2 basic energies of different types, attach one, put one into your hand, so you essentially get 2 attachments per turn. And I realized, you know what? It pairs really well with dragon attackers because they often need 2 different types of energy. So when you pair that with Iron Thorns, you could use Crispin to get out electric energy for Iron Thorns, or water or metal energy for not only Goodra, but our draw engine Radiant Greninja could actually be used as an attacker since we are playing with water energy in the deck. And Crispin, especially with EXP share and counter gain, stuff like that, we could legitimately pull off Moonlight Shurikens and catch our opponent lacking with that. So, you know, the combo's not bad with Crispin. To make sure I'm setting up as the energy just as best as possible, I am playing a 4 Arven build with 4 Pokégear to make sure I get those going second. And then I got 2 TM Turbo Energizes for the early game to make sure I'm getting extra energy down in the early game. And then I've got 1 EXP share and 1 counter gain to help with that energy cost towards the late game. So now Iron Thorns or Goodra could attack for 2 energy, which is kind of insane. In terms of the rest of the deck, I got high count of Gust. I got 3 Gusting cards. I got 3 Iono, 1 Judge, just to make sure I'm gusting up and disrupting the hand as much as possible, with 1 Penny and Professor Turo's for another like full heal type, maybe a switch out type cards. You know, Stall isn't a match I'm super worried about because we don't play many Pokemon and we have a good bit of energy to get around you know, like whatever Pokemon they bench up. And we're also playing 4 copies of Jet Energy because all of the Pokemon in our deck, with the exception of Radiant Greninja, have an insanely high retreat cost. So if I could use Jet Energy to kind of pivot between attackers as I need to, that would be huge. But in general, those could help with stall. And I'm playing 1 copy of Xerosic's Machinations. This card has honestly become one of my favorites. I've been playing it in real life with a few of my buddies a lot, and it is one of the most toxic cards ever. I just wanted to stick it in the deck because why not? In terms of what else there is in the list, the items are very straightforward. We got some Nest Balls and Ultra Balls to thin, get Pokemon. We only got 2 copies of Ultra Ball just because we've got such a high Arven count. We could usually search out an Ogre, oh my god, an Ogre. I was going to say an Ogre Ball, an Ultra Ball. And then we could just get 1 Goodra VSTAR that way. And then it shouldn't be too hard to dig out another Goodra VSTAR between the Ionos and another Arven. We got 3 copies of Nest Ball because we don't need an insane amount of Pokemon down, and I feel like as long as we got one at the start, we could usually set ourselves up pretty well, so I don't think we need more than the, you know, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball count we got. We really want to focus on the gear. This deck, just like Okie Dokie, is going to rely so heavily on the supporters you're playing per turn, so I want to make sure we're digging out the supporter when we need it. We got 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Rod just for recovery, 1 Lost Vacuum to deal with, like, you know, disruption on tool stadiums, as well as an Earthen Vessel and a Counter Catcher just for extra gust and getting some energy, just to make sure we're manual attaching. And that's pretty much going to be it for the list. I mean, it's a pretty simple like looking list, I think playing it is where it becomes much more difficult and realizing which match you need to use Iron Thorns compared to which one you need to use Goodra VSTAR. But I think overall, I mean, the deck has a lot of tea to it. I kind of want to spend more time looking into these like Crispin type decks. I think they're a ton of fun, and there's a couple others I looked into where I'm like, you know what, like all these dragon Pokemon where you could just smack a counter gain and then Crispin and then just boom, we're ready to rumble. So I kind of want to do some more digging and see what else I could find using Crispin, because I think it's a super fun combo. Again, it was kind of inspired by like the Okie Dokie build, as well as Iron Thorns Dragon Ball. I was like, you know what, Crispin's fun, looking into decks that use it. This is one that kind of caught my eye, and I'm like, yeah, I can make my own list with this. I can give this a shot. So this is what we got cooked up. Again, it's super chaotic. Other aspects that you might rather throw in, I mean, Secret Box never hurts for consistency. I preferred Cape because we're playing an insane amount of Arven. We've already got a bunch of tools, but also Cape on Goodra VSTAR just feels correct. I don't know how else to explain it. Something about Moisture Starring a 370 HP Menace is kind of what I want to play. So, you know, that's going to be it for the list. I hope you guys enjoy it. And with that being said, I mean, let's get into these 3 matches. But real quick, before we jump in, if you haven't seen, I got a TCG Player affiliate code. The link is in the description down below. If you click on the link, order cards through TCG Player, no matter what card game you're playing, you'll be supporting their channel in a huge way. So thank you very much to everyone who is doing that. And now that the intro is pretty much all said and done, I think I explained most of the deck. Let's jump into today's video and see if we can go 3-0 with Iron Thorns Goodra VSTAR. Welcome to match number 1. We are going second. We did take a mulligan, and I have a solid hand jumping into my first turn. I got Iron Thorns in the active just because I don't know what I'm up against, but if it is an Iron Thorns only match, like that is the preferred attacker, I would definitely rather it be the only Pokemon in play, so I don't want the Goodra on the bench yet. And we see a Pidgey, which again feels great when we got Thorns down. Now, is it Hydreigon or Charizard? They got the Dark Sleeves, and they get Manaphy Charmander. It's going to be a Charizard EX deck. This is what I like the Iron Thorns into, I think. I mean, again, depending on if they get Duskull, I might bench a Goodra. They did. Oh, they didn't. I feel like if they played the Duskull line, they would have got one there, especially with the double Buddy Buddy Poffin. There's no reason they needed a Manaphy and a second Pidgey. I guess maybe in case they're worried about us Gust KOing, you know, Pidgeot. We are swinging for weakness. We are taking a Pidgeot, which is actually a really good line for us to take. But I'm not sure. I feel like we would have saw the Duskull if they had it. For now, I think all I kind of want to do is maybe Crispin to active. And then I can Nest Ball for another. I don't think this is. Man, I really do want to go Goodra this match. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it just feels like such a good play. I'm gonna do it. Why not? I'm feeling kind of crazy. And then next turn, I can evolve Iono, manual attach the water energy, start swinging with Iron Thorns, and start loading up Goodra this way. So when the Iron Thorns is taken care of, I'll just be ready to rumble. And you know what? I'm going to Nest Ball. I'm going to take out another Iron Thorns. So, I don't know, in case of bundle or something like that. Just another backup Thorns doesn't hurt. If they Gust stall something, I got Jet Energy in hand. And this is why I play 4 Jet Energy. It's for reasons exactly like this. Like, an easy play for my opponent is just to go boss, hopefully buy a turn. It's not like we're retreating a 3 or 4 energy retreat cost, unless we get that Ancient Booster, or Future Booster Capsule, excuse me, which we do play 1 of. So it's not likely we get it. So, you know, 4 Jet just kind of helps in situations like this. My opponent is going to evolve manually into Pidgeotto and Charmeleon, which I definitely didn't expect, but they do get the free retreat, so they could just sack a Manaphy here, which would definitely be best for them. And I don't have Gust. If I had a Gusting card, oh my gosh, I would love to chase down that Charmeleon with 2 energy. If I could just put that thing in the discard pile and tell my opponent to figure it out, that would feel great. However, I don't think I'm going to get there yet, but I will probably hold off on an Iono, and they actually just pass, leaving Pidgeotto in the active spot. That's going to be kind of devastating for our opponent. I am so tempted to TM Turbo Energize, get a whole bunch of energy set up, but again, it's not the time. I think for now, we just want to rip the Volt Cyclone. We want to swing 280, see if my opponent has the Charizard EX in hand, and I'm going to move a Water Energy to Goodra VSTAR. Even if they evolve into Charizard, they do need another damage modifier, such as either Dust, you know, if they play like Thorin and somehow pull up a Dusclops, Dusknoir, or a, what do you call it, Defiance Band, because right now they're only swinging 210. So I could still manual attach the Metal Energy to Iron Thorns, and then attack, Volt Cyclone, move the energy to Goodra. And this is kind of where that like Goodra manual setup kind of comes. It's with a good Iron Thorns stall, straight setting up Goodra. You know, it actually works pretty consistently, and if we draw a Penny, you know, I could always pick up the other Iron Thorns if I'm worried about that guy, just so they can't boss suit. But they're gonna attach a third energy to Charmeleon, which is interesting. Makes me worried they're playing the fire type Charizard EX, which would that one swings for a lot. I don't remember how much, but I know it's a lot. And they're actually going to give me Pidgey here, not Manaphy. So I don't know what's going on. Oop, I'm throwing cards. My bad. I always shuffle cards and I'm throwing them on the floor right there. I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, we'll just Crispin. Give me this and give me the Metal Energy. We can attach... Or no, we can put the Metal Energy in our hand. We can throw the Electric Energy on the Iron Thorns. So I can start moving Electric Energy between these two guys. And then I can actually manual attach the Metal Energy here. And then swing with Volt Cyclone, taking a KO. Now Goodra VSTAR could be fully set up, but I'm actually going to move the Electric Energy onto Iron Thorns. So now I've got, you know, either Thorns. I could be ready to rumble with just like one more Crispin. I should be able to use both. And we're going to get Boss's orders out of the prize cards. That's huge. I think next turn what I'm going to do, I'm going to Jet Goodra VSTAR. I'm going to boss Charmeleon and tell my opponents to figure it out. And I know I've been kind of bullying this guy. He's got a 4th energy on Charmeleon. There's definitely the fire type Charizard EX. And they're just going to pass. So either don't know how Charizard works, or they do play the fire type Charizard EX, and not the Terra type. So we're going to Jet Goodra into the active. We're going to use Boss's orders, take out their Charmeleon with all their energy, and rip a Rolling Iron for 200 damage, allowing us to be even tankier with 80 less damage from our opponent's next attack during this turn, if they're able to pull off an attack. Radiant Greninja isn't bad. I could use that to sweep, but I think at this point I kind of want to just set up Goodra and a couple Thorns and just get ready to rumble. And my opponent's going to scoop. Yeah, it's going to wrap it up for a quick game number 1. That was, I feel like, almost as solid a setup as we could have asked for. I mean, that was kind of insane. That was a solid performance by the deck. Having Iron Thorns, Goodra, even though our opponent bricked, I feel like even if they got going, like Charizard's ability was shut down for the longest time. They couldn't have used Quick Search with Pidgeot. They didn't play any Dusknoir, so they couldn't litter any extra damage counters down that way. We kind of just... we just kind of just had them in a great lock there, and that's the goal of the deck. So I was going to wrap it up for match number 1. Let's hop into match number 2 and see if we can get the guaranteed positive record with Iron Thorns Goodra. Welcome to match number 2. We did win the coin flip. We are going second. I do open up with a mulligan, so we will see what the damage is and see how many mulligans I'm taking. And my opponent has the Dragon Sleeves. I'm curious to see if it's a Regidrago deck. I definitely prefer that than Dragapult. However, if I could get a Goodra rolling just before my opponent gets a Dragapult rolling, which is pretty hard to do. I mean, theirs only needs 2 energy. Mine needs 3. I do like our chances. I think Goodra Moisture Star can handle, Dragapult pretty well. Especially if they use like a Pidgeot engine or something like that and I have to lead Iron Thorns, like that never hurts either. But we're just going to take the 1 mulligan, which is good for us. And we're going to lead Radiant Greninja, which is most definitely not what I was expecting. I think out of all the games I've played so far tonight with this deck, I haven't led Radiant Greninja once. I used it once to attack, which is pretty cool. I was playing against the Gardevoir deck and I just happened to get it set up via the... EXP share and then just a manual attach, and I was kind of cooking at the end of the game with that one. But we are up against Eevee Hydreigon based off the Dino. I'm curious to see what evolution they're playing in this deck. So this is going to be another backrooms type match, which I am always a huge fan of. Hydreigon's going to be tricky. We can knock down their attack to their top attack. I think it's Crashing Headbutt. Or something like that. Something Headbutt, I'm pretty sure. It does 200 damage. It does mill 3 cards, which could be very scary, but the 200 damage would be nullified down to 120 if we get Goodra VSTAR set up, which we've got a decent hand for. I mean, if I could Pokégear into an Arven and get a Nest Ball, we got Turbo Energize, like, that would feel pretty good. So my opponent's going to Nest Ball for Squawk, which I love to see. That is the fattest boss target, no matter what Pokemon I've got set up. And they're actually going to attach the energy to Squawk ability, possibly for a Motivate play. They do have... Ooh, Glass Trumpet's actually kind of fun. I guess they'll set up energy on the Eevees and then evolve them. I'm still curious to see what evolution they're playing. We got Dark, Psychic, and Electric. So it might be... Actually, you know what? I have no idea because the Evolution EXs didn't come out yet, did they? Or am I tripping? I feel like everyone would be making videos on them if they did. So I don't know what's going on. All I know is this is definitely a Goodra match. So I want to Vessel. I'm going to get rid of the electric energy. It's the safest one here. And I'm just going to take out one of each of these. One more. So now I could try to get Goodra set up, because that is just a really good attacker. Or excuse me, Greninja too. For this match if I can. And we get the Arven. So that's huge for us here. I am going to go Nest Ball. And I'm even, honestly, I'm tempted to go EXP Share. Counter Gain also kind of does the same purpose in this scenario. But I'm going to do EXP Share. Keep the Recycle going. Yeah, no, this works. I could Moonlight Shuriken too, actually, now that I think about it. Let's take Goodra down. Did I even... Yeah, I got my Goodra VSTARs in the deck. That is really good. I'm going to need those guys. So I'll smack the EXP Share there. I'm going to Concealed cards. I'm going to get rid of a Water Energy. We play one more Water Energy in the deck than Metal Energy, so I figured those will be just more sackable, if that makes sense. I am going to Turbo Energize this turn. What am I attaching to Radiant Greninja? Whatever it is, it's going to get discarded via Retreat next turn. So... yeah, probably the Metal Energy is going to be safest. So then I can Turbo Energize. If my opponent KOs my active, it's just going to throw the energy on Goodra, which always feels pretty good. But regardless, I've got the manual attached to Goodra. I can Pokégear, try to get Arven just to guarantee the Ultra Ball, and get Goodra VSTAR going. But depending on what Pokégear hits, I could just Iono and hope I either draw into a Goodra VSTAR or an Ultra Ball. Both of those would get me to Goodra VSTAR, which would be pretty amazing. And then I'd be swinging with Goodra as fast as humanly possible. Don't think I actually could have asked for a faster setup, which always feels pretty good. I did just want to get the EXP Share in case they get a KO somehow on Greninja, because it's Hydreigon. Like, they could totally go Rare Candy, Hydreigon EX, and Crispin, take the KO on Radiant Greninja. That would be rough. So it would allow me to move the energy from my active to my benched Goodra. So that's why I did that. And we still do. Yeah, they got the Terra Orb. See, here it is. They could totally pull it off. Oh, they play Sylveon. That's right. That uses an electric energy. Duh. I knew that. Man, I'm a bum. All right. It's all good. It's all good. We can deal with the Sylveon. So they make us do 100 less damage by our attacks. However, we also make them do 80 less damage from their attacks. So this is just going to be a battle of the tanks. And they got a grass energy too. Wait a second. Does Hydreigon need grass? I thought it was Metal, Psychic, Dark, Colorless. And they're going to play an Iono themselves, which, I mean, I lose some energy, which kind of hurts, but I do get a pretty good hand here. Is there anything I could draw into? Actually, you know what? Now this is losing the energy actually kind of ruins me here. I could Arven, but I would need some sort of energy retrieval like Night Stretcher and an Ultra Ball. I could Pokégear. Hopefully I draw into a Jet Energy or a Goodra VSTAR. If I could draw into one of those, like any energy card plus Goodra VSTAR off the top deck, we're chilling. I got Arven, I got the Retreat, we're ready to go. They're just going to motivate. Alright, they can't accelerate the... Oh, wait, no, actually, they could Glass Trumpet energy onto Eevee. This build is insane, dude. Oh, my... Hydreigon? Sylveon? Nah, that's wild. I respect it. I respect it. We get the Ultra Ball. That's actually so perfect. So I'm going to Ultra Ball away Future Booster, Energy Capsule, and Iron Thorns. Those are not going to be too useful this game. I'm going to take the Goodra VSTAR. I want to see if Night Stretcher's in the deck just before I play Arven, and it is. Okay, so that's good. Just so I can Night Stretcher back in energy. I'd rather be safe than sorry with the energy. I'd rather just guarantee I can get it than not need it or something like that. So we are going to take the Night Stretcher, and I'll take Hero's Cape. I like Hero's Cape. I can look for my Vacuum, get rid of this EXP Share, smack Hero's Cape down. That's going to feel great. For now, we're just going to go Retreat. We're going to go into Goodra. I'm going to take 2 prize cards nice and early. So here, I don't think it matters which energy we take too much. I'm actually going to take the Water. So I still have a Rod. I can still get back an extra Metal energy if I need. But for now, we're ripping a Rolling Iron for 200 damage, taking out Squawkabilly. My opponent can easily get Hydreigon next turn and start milling us, start doing some good damage, some good mill. But we are taking 80 less damage from attacks. I got my Goodra VSTAR set up and Hero's Cape, so I know it can't get milled, and that is honestly all I'm too worried about right now. If they don't attack me this turn, I could boss Sylveon, but I think I'd rather boss... Oh, I was going to say I'd rather boss this guy just because he's got the energy attached, but I don't like seeing Hydreigon EX down. If I could get some chip damage on that at the moment, that would feel a whole lot better. And they actually got all types of evolutions in their hand. I'm curious to see what the last 3 cards are, if anything useful. I mean, they don't have a draw engine or anything else. Then again, we do have Greninja. I really don't plan on using it much, but we don't really have a draw engine either. And they're going to get even more energy down on that Zweilous. I think that might be the boss target. If they don't attack with that Zweilous, I think I'm going to boss it up and just put them insanely far behind on energy. They put a lot of work into getting this guy set up with Dark Psychic Grass. They need 1 metal energy. They can start using Obsidian, which isn't great in this match, but it's still a threat, I guess. If I could just boss it up, take the KO, I think I would feel better. Even though I'm going on the odd prize, I think I would feel better, and that is, it seems like what's going to happen. I could actually Radiant Greninja here. Get rid of a Jet. I really don't need 2 Jet energies, maybe just 1. Oh, man, setting up another Goodra would feel so good, I'm not going to lie. I don't really have a hand to set up energy, though. I could Pokégear, see if I get Crispin, but I think Boss would be more important this turn. I think I'm going to wait till next turn. If I could Pokégear into Crispin, I'll Nest Ball for Goodra. But if I can't do that, I don't think it's worth it. For now, I don't care if I'm on the odd prize card. Give me Zweilous. Zweilous is a problem. It's got a lot of energy set up. I'm sure after that research, they could evolve into Hydreigon. Or they had a supporter who could get them at that evolution. However, I think it's going to be harder to get 2 energy down on the benched Hydreigon and use that guy to attack. So I feel a little bit more comfortable with the boss play there than like an Arven or Pokégear or something like that. You know, I don't know. I want to ruin their setup. We've got a pretty solid lead. I still have access to Moisture Star, which is going to be our best friend. And Rolling Iron. I mean, Rolling Iron's still in effect, and if they do some big boy damage, I got some big boy healing. So I'm ready to rumble right now. But this is kind of where Goodra takes off. You know, last match was a big Iron Thorns. I mean, I guess it was an Iron Thorns late game Goodra match, and there's the Crispin. Yeah, they could definitely... Ooh, actually, they need to switch or retreat to attack this turn. Crispin won't totally get him there. Or counter game. There's actually a lot of outs my opponent could have. And they're going to go Electric Energy in the hand. I'm assuming Dark Energy to Hydreigon. No, they're going to go Water to Sylveon. Oh, I have no idea what's going on. I got none whatsoever. But Angelite, does that get rid of only bench Pokemon, right? Bench Pokemon, yeah. Okay. It doesn't actually get rid of our active Pokemon, which is amazing, because I could do the rest of this game with the Goodra VSTAR if I really wanted. I am very tempted to Concealed Cards again. Just get rid of an Electric Energy. We really don't need that Electric Energy, do we? Nah, let's do it. Why not? Why? Nah, not the Jet. You never know when Jet's going to clutch up. So we're going to... We did get the Crispin. And then next turn I could go for another Ultra Ball play. Ah, man, I think I have to. I think I have to go for another Goodra. It feels correct, man. We'll take another Goodra there. I got another Goodra, and I've got my other Ultra Ball. Yeah. Next turn, I'm going to have a second set up Goodra VSTAR. I forgot to check my energy. I should have enough energy. Perfect, yeah. I was going to say, I should have something to make this work. So we got the Electric Energy. I'm just going to put that one in hand. We're going to throw the Water Energy here. I'm going to smack the Metal Energy on this Goodra V. And then I'm honestly... I feel pretty good running a Hero's Cape on the bench guy. I don't really know how my opponent's going to respond. If I could keep this guy... If they, like, boss it up, damage it, because it's Goodra V and not V-Star, I got Arven for Ultra Ball for Goodra V-Star to Moisture Star, full heal next turn. And I like that play a lot right now. So this feels pretty good. Now we're going to rip the Rolling Iron, go back on the even prize card, and keep the tank going. So then we can take a prize card there. I guess one thing that could be annoying, I was going to say if they go Angela and just shuffle Goodra V-Star back in the deck, we would have had to figure out how to set it up again, but like, that's fine. We still have Goodra V-Star in the active, but no, they're just going to concede. We got the guaranteed positive record. We're 2-0. We got one more match for the day. I'm not going to lie, this deck is cooking. This deck is wild, but it's actually cooking. Let's see if we can go 3-0. Let's see if we can get the perfect record with Goodra V-Star Iron Thorns. Welcome to match number 3. We open up with an interesting hand, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not awful, honestly. I mean, we got Crispin and Emmanuel to like an Energy and Vessel in hand. We got Goodra V-Star in hand. I mean, we can get a Goodra V-Star set up on our second turn. which always feels great. That being said, our opponent will also probably get a Cramorant going this turn. And they got the Grass Energy, so I'm assuming it's Pikachu EX, but I'm always scared for Radiant, oh my gosh, Giratina VSTAR. In case it is Giratina VSTAR, we probably could, because I don't know if I can handle Star Requiem, but they got the Switch card. Actually, still doesn't tell me too much. Not yet, at least. I think, what is the most beneficial play for us here, actually? I could go Crispin. I could go Arven Turbo Energize and save Crispin for next turn. Actually, that might be insane. Let me play the Nest Ball. Take out the other Goodra. I've only got one Goodra V-Star in the deck, though. Do I send it and just pray I get the second V-Star? I might. Honestly, I think I'm going to. So then this turn, I could play Arven. I could say, oh wait, no, I have Goodra V-Star in hand. Duh, of course I got the other V-Star in my hand. Why wouldn't I? We're going to take Ultra Ball. We're going to take TM Turbo Energize. I could attach TM Turbo Energize, set up energy. I got Crispin next turn, Vessel, Xerosic, Goodra. Yeah, actually, this is perfect. Okay. This is good. This is good. I love this. I kind of love this a whole lot, actually. So we're going to attach the energy to active. We're going to TM Turbo Energize. We're going to set up 2 Goodras in 2 turns, which actually is kind of nuts that I think about it. I've played a lot of different Goodra V-Star decks in my life. I don't think I've ever successfully set up 2 Goodras this well in pretty much 2 turns. I mean, okay, maybe I'm 1 energy short of 2 Goodra V-Stars, but like, whatever. And of course it's Giratina V-Star. Alright, so Star Requiem is going to be the most miserable thing known to man. That is going to devastate us. I just had to speak that into existence. This easily could have been a Pikachu EX versus a normal Lost Box deck, but no. No, I had to speak Giratina's name and just put it in the universe that it just manifested, that I wanted to see it. Whatever. They got 1 Star Requiem, I got 1 Moisture Star. We gonna go to work. All I need is 2 Goodras. They are going to be running through energy with the Abyssal Seeking, and they didn't get an energy. Actually, they do have 1 water energy in the Lost Zone. If we could dodge a Cram attack this turn, that would feel so unbelievably good, I'm not going to lie. That would actually warm my heart. They're going to switch cart into another Comfey. They will only get 3 so far in the Lost Zone. They need something to pull them up, and Colress would do it. So they are most definitely going to be swinging with Cramorant, getting some good chip damage on Goodra. That is annoying, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I wish, unless I had top deck Jet Energy, I wish I could play Xerosic right now, but I'm most likely going to have to go Crispin. They get the Beach Court down and go into Tina. Do you have Lost Vacuum and Mirage Gates? Are you Abyss Seeking? You're Abyss Seeking. Oh my god, I want to go Xerosic so bad. Yo, please let me top deck a Jet Energy so I can swing with the other Goodra and go Xerosic right now. That would be phenomenal, dude. Oh my god, but I think that's going to be too much to hope for. We do play 4 Jet. This is why, man. Like, Jet is just so good in this deck. There's so many times where you're like, yo, 1 Jet in his clips. It's just that it just bails you out of situations so nicely sometimes. Maybe a 1 of Chorus's Tenacity. It could be useful in this deck. We don't play any stadiums, though. I don't even know what stadium I would put in. Maybe Lost City, to be honest. I don't know. It's going to pass it over to us. We're going to see what we can do. We get Boss's Orders. What did they Lost Zone away? They got rid of Energy, Buddy Buddy Coffin. All right. It's not the end of the world. They most likely can pull through with 10 next turn, which is fine. If they start Requiem immediately, so be it. We can Crispin. We need 2 energy. Yeah, we got Vessels, so we're still good. Okay, this is cool. We're gonna put the, just in case in case I somehow mess this up, I'm gonna put the water energy in my hand. Just manual attach that metal energy to the active. We're gonna throw the water energy on the active, smash Goodra V-Star down here, and I think the best play for us is to hold the hand for now. I don't want to play anything more than I have to. I think we just want a Rolling Iron. I love my hand going into next turn. I don't want to Ultra Ball get out another Goodra V-Star yet, because I kind of need all 3 of the cards in my hand. Boss is the most sackable. Ideally, next turn, I Vessel away whatever card we draw, get 2 energy, attach 1 to Goodra, Ultra Ball away Boss and the other energy, and then rip Xerosic and just tell my opponent to figure it out. If they pull off Star Requiem here and get some insane damage on auto KO on Goodra V-Star, That would hurt. But at least that would be out of the way. So then I can save my Moisture Star, which feels pretty good too. But no, they're going to go Colress. You know what? Maybe it was kind of nice that we held the Xerosic. Let me make their hand. Let me watch it get even bigger. I just need them to whiff enough things and still have a massive hand so that this Xerosic still goes super hard. Like, I don't want them to play 500 cards because then it's like, oh, they already used all the cards they kind of needed. So Xerosic didn't do much. So that's what I'm a little worried about. But what is really good is I did get a Rolling Iron off. There's no space for a Sableye. So if they swing with Cram, if they somehow don't get a Giratina set up, Cram is only swinging for 30 damage. We're taking 80 less damage from attacks. They can spit innocently all they want. Will eat up a 30 damage attack. And they are going to get rid of Boss's Orders with that Flower selecting. So they are down 2 Boss, 1 Psychic, 1 Water. We're also staring at a Grass and a Psychic in the discard pile. There's the Mirage Gate. I am near certain that this is where I might start to get very scared. They are at the magic number 10. They put the energy on the damaged Giratina, though. That's interesting. They could Shred. Shred for 160 does go kind of crazy. No, they got the Giratina. Are they going to pull off the Star Requiem? I'd imagine they are. Just deal with that early. It's not the end of the world, honestly. They got concealed cards still, too. All right, that's fine. Please grow a bigger hand. Just don't play any cards. Just keep them. Keep them in your hand. You want to save them. Keep them tight. Because you think they're safe, but they're not. And you play a Rod. Oh, man, see, this is what I'm scared of, man, is my opponent playing the game. This is definitely not the matchup I wanted to see. I think we could take it, but like, how well can one Goodra deal with an entire Giratina deck? I'm not sure. So they are going to Star Requiem, my active. That is the big attack I was worried about. At least they got it out of the way early. They got 11 cards in hand, and I got a Meanle Xerosic ready to rumble. I really feel bad getting rid of Iron Thorns because I'm probably going to need another attacker this match, but whatever. It's the price I must pay. I'm going to take these 2 energy. Actually, I don't even hate taking an electric energy. Nah, I'll leave 3 electric energy in the deck for another Iron Thorns. We're going to attach the water energy, it doesn't really matter which, to Goodra. I'm going to Ultra Ball away Boss and Metal Energy. I'm going to take my last Goodra VSTAR, my last hope. I'm going to live on a prayer in this match. We're going to evolve, we're going to Xerosic. And we are going to make our opponent get rid of 8 cards from their hand. I know that this hurts, man. I know that a hand this big in Lost Box, sure, there are some easy cards you can discard, but I know that those last 2 or 3 cards that they choose are really going to be painful. They're going to have to make some big decisions here. More importantly, we can Rolling Iron and tie us up on the prizes, which gives us 2 cards, and that would be all that's in our hand, which always feels good as well. Plus, our opponent is down, what, just 1 Mirage Gate, I believe, right? Yeah, they're down 1 Mirage Gate. So they still got 3 Mirage Gates left. And, okay, I need to take a look and see what my opponent got rid of there. They got rid of Roxanne, Sableye, another Mirage Gate, and Iono. That's actually huge. That does tell me they'd probably have another Colress. They wouldn't have got rid of those supporters that easily. So now, we Rolling Iron for the big 2 prize KO, and now my opponent doesn't, as far as I believe, have any auto KOs left. So I really need to be as smart with this Moisture Star as I can. I'm not going to lie, top decking Boss there, or not top decking, getting it out of the prizes actually feels amazing. Because I am not sure what I'm going to need to boss up, but I'm sure it's something. They got Giratina. Do they have double Mirage Gate? Nope, they got the Colress. There was it. There it was. I figured they had a Colress in their hand because they got rid of Roxanne and Iono, and the 4th Colress hits the Lost Zone. If we could get Iono here, there is nothing my opponent can do. But I'm curious to see, do they have Mirage Gate manual attach? That would be insane. They got the manual attach and the gate. Of course they do. All right, so they're going to be swinging 200 damage. There's really not much I could do other than rip Rolling Iron. Excuse me, other than rip Moisture Star. I have to heal here. There's no way I can avoid not healing. However, my opponent is down 2 energy. They're down, what, 3 Mirage Gates. There's none in the Lost. I'm just double checking for the 80th time. Nope, there's nothing in there. So we are going to Moisture Star. We're going to full heal. And now we're really going to see if my opponent's got it like that. This is where it gets scary. I just got to breathe and hope that 4th gate ain't in their hand, man. That's it. That's all I got. Hope that 4th Mirage Gate is prize. Is really the best thing I'm hoping for. And maybe a top decking Hero's Cape. You know, it's not asking for too much, is it? Maybe they don't get a Sableye out when they need to. I mean, they are down a bunch of energy. They're down, what, 2 Psychic, 2 Water, and a Grass. They could go cram all they want. Swing for 30. There's 3 Jet there. And they're going to get rid of another Psychic Energy. Oh, that's crazy, actually. They're down 3 Psychic. How many rods? 3 Psychic Energy, 2 rods. And, sorry, it's a lot of checking in Lost Box to figure out how in danger I am. They're going to put 30 damage on my Goodra. I'm not scared of that 30 damage yet. However, I do want to vacuum away. I'm going to vacuum away Turbo Energize. There's no way I ever rip Turbo Energize. Counter gain at some point might become useful. I want to get rid of that Beach Court because I am going to Boss's Orders Giratina. Go up another 2 prize cards, which is huge, man. Oh my god. Getting rid of that thing before they find a Mirage Gate feels so good. And now my opponent is on the rope. So we kind of flipped that match on its head. We got Radiant Greninja and a Nest Ball, which I'm not going to lie, neither of those really help me. I don't really have any energy. They get another Giratina down. Oh my gosh, please, no more. You would play a 3-3 line of Giratina, and there's some more flower selectings. My opponent's going to start getting too many cards in the loss zone. They might not have enough cards to just dig through. They get rid of a second Roxanne. Yo, they play 4 Chorus, 2 Roxanne, 1 Iono. That is criminal. That is insane. I love it. But what was that other card that they drew? Because they got rid of Roxanne. So the other card they got must have been Giratina VSTAR. Like, there's actually no way it wasn't. And they're going into Cram again. They're going to swing for 30. Okay. All right. It's not bad. That's not bad. I respect it. I respect the hustle. They got the Psychic Energy down on Giratina V. And they are doing another 30 damage to us. Again, not much I can do about it. Starting to get a little scared because I don't know what I'm going to top deck that could help. Ultra Ball doesn't really cut it. I guess I could Thin. I'm going to get rid of Counter Gain. I'm going to take a KO here. I'm going to fall down to my last prize. And I'm going to get rid of Greninja. I'm going to keep the Nest Ball in case I need to get an Iron Thorns. Another Iron Thorns out. You know, or if I top that Crispin, I could just start putting energy on an Iron Thorns. That always feels pretty good. But I'm going to use Rolling Iron here. I'm going to swing for KO. And my opponent has to deal with essentially a 290 HP Goodra VSTAR. Because I got the Rolling Iron effect in play. And we got Arven, which is good. I could get Hero's Cape, assuming they leave Giratina V in the active at the end of this turn. They got 3 cards left in the deck. They are ripping the flower selecting here, putting themselves at 1 card remaining. I'd assume they had to have found a Rod or something, right? Because they need some energy back, some Giratina V-Stars. Even the Sableye or the Cram feel kind of good, I'm not going to lie. But most importantly, they need the energy back. I mean, I don't think they have enough energy to attack. They got the Grass energy down on Giratina. You can retreat into another Comfy. There's no way. You flower select. All right, so if you don't play Rod here, you lose. All I have to do is pass. I don't think there is a world where you KO me. Even if you get Giratina V-Star and a Mirage Gate and you could somehow pull off the Lost Impact, I will live with 10 HP. Which is insane. And they concede. So that is going to wrap it up. That match was quick, but I'm not going to lie, that was stressful, man. We had 2 Goodras taking on the world, but that one Goodra, the last Goodra, was just ready to rumble, picked up all our KOs, doing a crisp 1,000 damage to close out match number 3. I'm not going to lie, this deck is actually mad fun. I know the recording's done, but I might be streaming tomorrow, and I might be streaming more of this. Unless, of course, you guys want to see any other decks. If there's any decks you guys want me to see, let me know in the comments down below. I am so happy to make more decks. I've got a couple that I still haven't made. Well, I have made, I've been like all over the place, and I haven't recorded a video on them. But, of course, I'll play any decks on stream. I'll make any videos on people's, you know, just videos people want to see. Just let me know, man. For real, I appreciate y'all. This community is amazing. I get such good vibes. I feel so happy every time I'm like, you know, pumping out a video, recording it for you guys. It feels good, man. I just like being a part of this community. So thank you so much for making this like so enjoyable, because really, like, y'all mean the world to me. Like, I appreciate every single one of you, you watching this video. In case you needed to hear it today, thank you for just being you. I appreciate you. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.